Interesting, y'all.
It is a good time in service. We have a guest pastor with us. You all right, Courtney?
She's so oh.
10-second rule.
nervous.
Hurry up. Pick it up. Pick it
too
up.
late.
Just dropped my
10-second rule.
pumpkin loaf, y'all. The Starbucks one.
It looked delicious.
I think
too.
you can
It
still
was the
eat it
last
I think-
piece, y'all.
because it's a white floor and you can see
I
exactly.
think because
what dirt
our
was
guest
there.
is making her nervous because, as we know,
Sorry.
when there's a handsome man in the building,
He a classic, man.
Courtney does not know how to contain herself.
You know.
But this gentleman, I've had the opportunity on many occasions to just have conversation and share fellowship with him, and he's an upstanding individual, very wise, very talented. The artist Jidenna is in the building. What's good?
Share fellowship.
Yeah, we share fellowship.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. Well, see, every Wednesday, all our days are themed. Monday's Motivational Monday. Tuesdays, Toxic Turn Up. Teachable Tuesdays.
Depends what we want.
Wednesdays are Worship Wednesdays, where we play a lot of inspirational music. Our choir director, Courtney, sometimes coordinates the playlist. So today is the day where we don't curse, or we try not to
We
curse.
try not to.
Okay.
That's the
Abby's
goal.
already-
Abby is
That's
already
3 or
4 curse
in.
words in.
And then there's punishments like the giant cone of shame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've Abby's had to talk like a pirate on many
I had
occasions.
to eat bugs.
Courtney had to eat bugs.
What did you eat?
What
Was
were
it
those?
crickets?
Well, I have them here. They're if you'd like to try some. It's mixed bugs.
Mixed bugs. It's like worms and crickets.
Crickets.
Y'all got a trail mix?
Silkworms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tread lightly, but I believe today, Jidenna, is actually perfect because your new album is Me, You, and God.
It is perfect.
So tell me about the title. Tell me about this journey and this project that you're sharing with the universe.
Man, so I spent a lot of the pandemic alone, like many of you.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if I can say this on the radio, but I took a lot of magic chocolates.
I know,
Don't
that's
we?
right.
We are
Shroom.
big
A shroom
fans
man.
of psilocybin
Yeah.
here.
I had some this morning with my coffee.
I know, that's right.
So you microdose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it all, though. I've been doing it for years. So
Yeah.
like, now feel pretty.
How much is for a microdose? Because I've wanted to try.
Like
that.
a stem?
I mean, I have scales.
I got some upstaiers if y'all want to participate.
Yes.
Point two.
And just hang around the office.
Well, sir.
Psychedelic Thursday.
Why didn't you lead with that?
Yeah.
I got those.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
be
those
giving
are
me
the
a gang of them.
microdosing,
But I did a lot of that on the beach.
Freeze.
Malibu.
Yes.
Nobody was there.
Okay.
Did the same thing.
Yeah. The mountains of
nobody's
Malibu
there.
is amazing.
And so in like my little meditations, in the midst of the madness that was a pandemic, I met a lovely woman and started going to the beach with her.
I know,
And it
that's
really
right.
felt like it was just me, you, and God. It was me, her, and nobody in LA.
Yeah.
And it changed my whole life.
Let's talk about that for a moment. I mean, we'll get into the project, but I do want to talk about anybody who has an experience. And we're not endorsing illegal substances. I believe psilocybin therapy is going to be something that in recent or coming up they're gonna see the medicine in it. But just talking about the experience of a journey, and like to me, I haven't heard the music yet, but I'm pretty sure music sounds better. Food tastes better, and they're like, and everything gets vibrant. It's almost like if you turn the saturation of your television up. So like the sky is iridescent, like it's the clouds are
You see
out.
the life and everything.
Yeah, and like everything breathes.
Everything breathes.
Yeah,
Which is the truth.
yeah.
So it's nice to be like see the truth.
And
because
you feel
even
like
your
you're closer
mundane
to
life-
God.
Absolutely.
And something about it, I mean, that's why they do give it to people who suffer from PTSD and, veterans and things, because depression, because to me, every time I've had a journey, it's all about love. Like you see the love in everything, and it's like every problem, everything that's going on in the world, you feel like it's so simple to solve with love. And I mean, that's my personal experience, but I know also because my last journey, I was in Joshua Tree, and because what I learned is it's all about the setting. It's all about like Malibu, or if you got the opportunity to be on any beach, or and you don't like get rid of all the phones, take off your watch, because if there's ever a moment during your journey that you feel angst or anxiety, like we were talking earlier, like you got to be somewhere, you got something to do, then that alters and affects. And someone had to be at the airport, and it took me down a wrong path because the person who was supposed to be guiding or watching over us also took mushrooms. So now we all just out here in a funk. Can't nobody drive. So I'm like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And then it was like, and it literally became like Alice in Wonderland. We're late. Like it's like the little white rabbit.
I would
and
have
like,
paid to have watched that.
yeah, and everybody's crowd. How are we gonna get there? We're like, no one can drive. And it's like, and then I was like, ooh, this is the type of trip I don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've heard like people who do it, and like they go to raves or like they're in the corner, like, oh my God! Like I've never had that kind, but
never done a rave with it. You more like
I'm like gotta have the setting, gotta be playing some Jidenna or some Janae Aiko or some Earth, Wind and Fire. You know what I mean? Like it's cool, and I don't have nowhere to be. I'm not worried about, but I've seen or heard about those people who go like to raves, and I could easily see, because that one last trip that it was over a year ago, that you can really get to that space of like the anxiety and the angst, and I've seen people not come back from it. I talked to my therapist about it maybe like 2 weeks ago, because he was telling me, he was like, as much as I understand what you're talking about, he's like, in all of the clinics and all of my clients, like it's a gateway for sometimes it could be like, you know, the mania, to where you get into those things where they don't come back from it because they're spiraling. So he was like, just make sure when you do it that it is in a controlled setting. So that's just, I mean, I love it, but I know I can't do it a lot. Like I give myself, when I go, like I understand the microdosing, which I believe is beautiful, but them trips where I be talking to the ancestors, and I can only do that like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much. I was like, why would I come back? like that's how far you like, what? Why? There's and like, oh, I got 12 kids.
That's
I got
what
12
I was gonna
kids.
say. You got 12 kids.
I got 12 kids.
And doctor's appointments.
And
therapy.
Yes.
You gotta come back.
Yes, my love.
Come back.
So, but I guarantee you, once our kids are grown, I'm gonna be 60 years old in Tibet. Or off
You already
shrooms.
told me that.
He
Remember?
swear by that. He gonna be
I
on
will-
top of a mountain.
I was in London,
it.
and he was like, he asked me a question. I asked him back, and he was like, I'm going to be living out in Jamaica on my own island by myself in 20 years.
Maybe
from now.
Ghana. Jidenna, what? So, speaking of the diaspora, your parents are Nigerian.
My father's Nigerian.
Yeah,
Igbo, Yoruba.
Igbo.
Oh, okay.
So do you ever see yourself living, you know, in the motherland?
Yeah, I mean, my sister lives in South Africa, so I go
Nice.
there every year. I've been going there for like 10 years.
Dope.
I will not raise I don't have children.
I got a couple. You want to borrow some?
When I do, I will not raise them in the U.S.
Really?
When they're young.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring them back.
Bring them back.
Yeah, nah.
The influence?
I find like I wasn't raised here. I came here when I was 6,
Okay.
and I feel like that.
Oh, so you were born in?
Nah, my dad brought me my mom on a plane here to make sure I was a citizen. My mom's American.
Oh,
He
okay.
was like, I made damn sure that you had the blue passport. Like my last name was like manufactured to sound more British or American.
Right.
Like, it was a whole game plan from like my grandfather in
Oh, wow.
Nigeria to make sure that we could make it work. But I find that like growing up there and then coming here, it just, you know, it makes you a little bit more worldly than most Americans. 'Cause Americans don't be thinking about nothing else. But here, it's changing now.
Right.
Thanks to, you know, social media.
Yeah.
Thanks to Top Boy being on Netflix.
Right. Facts.
So we seeing more things. But yeah, I'm gonna have my kids definitely on the continent and then bring them back.
That's dope. That's so dope. I mean, and, man, you such like evolved and worldly individual, because even in your music, from when we were all introduced to you from Classic Man, and then even getting to know you as an artist, like you always on your own path, your own beat. And it's so when we say, are we with this album, are we gonna see more of that? Like, what is the direction?
I did a lot of like. This album was more like psychedelic soul to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And what do you define? Like, what type of artist are you? Are you a rapper? Are you a singer? Or what?
Bro, I don't even know, bro. I figure it out every album.
Really?
Yeah.
Because 85 to Africa, that was
don't-
my bop.
Man, give
bopping
thanks.
through
Give
that.
thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's just where I'm at. I'm heavily influenced by my environment.
Okay.
Right.
Like, if I was in this room, I mean,
You would come
You
up with
make
something
some
different.
craziness.
Yeah.
yeah, like, it would be kind of kooky and like just
This-
like big kid with an old soul.
Yeah, I would say this is inside my brain. Like, this room is literally what my brain looks like.
You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense.
Doing
I-
lines of
I
pixie
never really
sticks.
put that
Like,
two
this
and two
room is my
together.
brain. But even in that, man, like, that's dope because everything in music right now is compartmentalized. Everything really has been, oh, you're a rapper, or you from the streets, or you about to trap, or you're an R&B singer, or you're emo. Like, but you've been able to kind of, brilliantly dance wherever you wanted to.
You know what I think? I mean, one of my favorite artists right now is Tizo Touchdown.
Yeah.
And I like any artist that just
Let's
moves
do.
through
Yeah.
different genres, does what they do. And I think that that's a result of the streaming era. People are consuming all types of playlists now. People can go from genre to genre. I've been had streaming like before everybody had it. What was it called? Rhapsody or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhapsody.
I had that early, and people were like, "Yo, why are you paying for this? Like, why don't you just use LimeWire and shit?" I'm like, "Nah, this is the future. This is the future." And after that, I started to really genre bend and dip and dabble. Now we're here.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we're compartmentalized as much these days.
Yeah.
And then a lot of things, or most people don't know that, like, just even your education background, and I guess coming from a Nigerian household,
I
like,
had no choice now. What was I to do?
yeah, Stanford, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had opportunity to do
God, that's hot.
something with. She said that's so hot. A smart black man,
From Stanford.
so hot. No, but we had an opportunity to do the thing with Michelle Obama that one year, and it was really like a pep rally for all of these young students who had been accepted to college and were
First
given.
generation students that had never been to, no one in their family had been to school.
Yeah, and it was so dope. But to hear a little bit about your story and how important education was for you, and that's really where your music career kicked off too, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I was trying to be a basketball player and a rapper while in school. I had a whole dream when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
remember MTVU and shit.
Yeah. Oh, you good? He cursed. Oh.
Yo, let me get the crickets though. I want to see what it tastes like.
Jidenna,
so
take my punishment,
disgusting.
please.
Jidenna wants to
I
eat the
want
cricket.
it.
It
I
is
mean,
disgusting.
it tastes like shrooms.
Jidenna, that's
I'm
disgusting.
dirty.
I'm dirty.
I low-key love insects and whatnot.
Really?
I also have some
Yeah.
urine over here.
No, you keep that to yourself.
Wow. No, you can hold that.
You can
He's
hold
got
that.
Jidenna's actually about to eat the
y'all,
cricket.
He about to eat it.
Wait, can
Oh!
Can this be considered my punishment?
No, Abby.
No.
What does it taste
No.
like, Jidenna? He's eating.
Ah.
They're not
No,
that
this
bad.
bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not that bad at all.
He's
They're
eating them
salted.
joints
No, let me
like
get that.
pistachios.
You got a little pepper over there. I can put
Put
it
some
on
tahini
there.
on
Little
there.
tahini.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta get this.
Yo, he really, Jidenna
Nah,
just really.
Stanford was cool, man. I wasn't trying to go to school. I was trying to be out, but my family wasn't gonna have that.
Right.
Yeah, like.
And because when you come from an African family, specifically a Nigerian family, they are so And is
we're
it?
the most highly educated.
I was about to
group.
say the statistics show that like Nigerians are like the most successful
They don't
in
be
the
playing.
space of education, and then even like doctors, huh? Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no, Stimulator's from. Where Stimulator? Where you from? I think it's. I don't want to get it wrong. I thought it was
Uganda?
Zimbabwe.
Uganda.
No, it wasn't Uganda.
Oh my
God.
He'll tell us in a second.
All right.
But as
He
we
was
know,
from over there.
because to your point, and even what you're talking about your own children, it's like the education system in America is so valued to people from the outside that when they come here, they play no games. Like they're like, look, we coming here to get that degree. We coming here because it's not available for us. You know, those institutions aren't available. So
Even in high school, them kids used to run circles around American kids.
yeah, facts.
I mean?
And even in the cross country, they was running circles too.
In every way, they ran circles.
Them Africans can run. They don't even need shoes.
I mean, we have no choice, man. Y'all don't understand. Like, education is the way.
Yeah.
Because it was the way for them. That's the hustle.
Right.
The U.S., you don't have to have a diploma to make it.
Yeah.
But in most of Africa, you do. Like, honestly, all of it.
Yeah.
And then you walk in any door, you don't have a degree. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
It wasn't until recently that you have some artists that don't have degrees. But a lot of those, the Afrobeats artists,
Yeah.
just check their stats.
They educated.
They're educated.
That's
Some
why.
of them are low-key, like doctors and
Yeah.
biologists.
Oh,
That's
wow.
beautiful, man. Like, shouts out to the diaspora. Shouts out to the continent because it just, we're evolving so much. And you're a part of that movement as well, man. Like, to where you open the door for just the sound in general. Are you, I mean, one, I'm just sonically, are we going to hear that this time? But are you still, like, involved in, as we call it, the Afrobeat movement, or even, because Afrobeat sounds like just a genre, but like all that's going on. Tell me about, like, you know, you connecting to the continent on this project.
This one, I was in Malibu mostly.
Oh yeah,
Beach.
but I mean, like, are you touring over there?
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
next year.
Okay.
I did 2 albums, and the second one is more Afro fusion.
Yeah.
So that one, I didn't want to put it together because it just didn't work.
Right.
The next one will, because there's a whole scene in Africa. Like, house music is really big in Southern Africa, not just South Africa.
Right.
There's like Afro-Portuguese house in
Really?
Angola, and yeah, it's wild. It feels like Brazilian music meets house music.
That's
Nice.
dope.
So you'll see that in Mozambique and Angola, and so I want to soak that up. And every year I go down there and kind of figure out what the next wave.
What's
is.
the vibe over there like? Like, cause I mean, like I said, I've been
everywhere is different. Mozambique is like romantic.
Oh.
Like they were colonized by Portuguese. They speak Portuguese, but they have like their own swagger, but they kiss on both cheeks. You know? It's like everything's close. Like,
Right.
There's so much intimacy.
Right.
Which we don't got in America.
We do
like
not.
that.
Right.
That's why everybody homophobic, because
Right.
men don't know what intimacy is.
Mhm.
So
Right.
they're weirded out by touch. But in Mozambique, it's not the case. They're not even thinking about it.
Right.
In Nigeria, if somebody want to move you out of the way, they might grab your hip. It's
Right.
like to that degree. Where
Right.
Come off for road now, and they'll grab your hip. It doesn't. Man, woman doesn't matter.
Right.
Men hold hands in Nigeria
Right.
if they're friends crossing the street.
Wait, hold on. Like,
Crossing the street.
two grown men just holding
Me and
hands.
you, Nick. We're crossing the street. We're going to get a Starbucks, bro.
And we're holding hands.
No, and watch. This is
Like
sometimes
interlinked
it's like
fingers?
This. It could be like this.
Pinkies.
It can be this.
Okay.
It could be
That's
whatever.
What
but
about like linking the fingers?
She
completely?
literally said pinky to pinky.
I like that. It's actually not usually that, but
Okay.
it's
All
some
right.
form of hand holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's this is my friend.
Yeah.
The reality is that's what you did when you was in the playground.
Yeah.
A lot
Facts.
of like what I'm doing, people are like, oh, you're forward, you're progressive, masculine, feminine. To me, no, it's not. I'm just still the boy that I was.
Right.
Why did I dead that?
Right.
That's wild.
That's
like, look at
real.
this room.
Yeah.
I want to be like this.
Right,
So
right.
if I'm like, hey, bro, come here, and I'm holding his hand to get to go playing like on the keyboard,
Yeah.
I want to still do that.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
gonna be police. To me, that's me being a man now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I love that going to different countries because you get that gist. You know, that's
Yeah.
why people go to Europe. They want to get that sauce.
Yeah.
We don't. We all entertainment here. We work so much. We will work so much to buy pleasure instead of working less and getting free pleasure.
Free pleasure.
But Europeans, they know that.
Yeah.
Africans, they know that. So that's the sauce that I get every time I travel.
Man, that's interesting because I mean you tapped into so much, but it really is just the systemic oppression that's just put on us from slavery because of those things of like we don't know. Well, for one, this entire country is a business. It was set up, you know, as much as we wanted it to be about freedom, it was all about economic empowerment and getting to the top, hopefully becoming part of the 3%. And because we are, we're property driven, here specifically even as people, the masculine was so important because that was like, you had to be a manly man in order to make money. You had to be, even in the slave culture, you had to be, it was the buck mentality of like, the stronger you are, the more valuable you are. So in that, we kind of like got rid of the feminine, or even got rid of the idea of like being able to relax, being able to be yourself, being able to not take yourself so seriously. But because you always had to keep your head on a swivel. So, because either it was your life dependent on it or your job dependent on it. So the more manly you were, the stronger your household was and all of those things. So I understand the American psyche, but I wish we had the opportunity to take siestas and do what they do in Europe and in Africa. And then you get all of the, prison industrial complex and all of that type of stuff.
But
that
you do have the opportunity.
We do now.
Take a nap. Just stop.
You gotta tell me.
Yeah.
twice.
I'm so there right now.
Right.
I will stop if I don't like this.
I'm going to sleep.
Out, bro. I don't care.
Right.
I'm not wasting my time.
Right.
Why would I do that? Like, you know how many people passed recently?
It's
Like,
so
I know
true.
y'all lost people in the pandemic. I
Yeah.
didn't forget that.
Yeah.
I feel like we got back and everybody forgot every lesson.
Yeah.
It's like we wrote our New Year's resolutions out in 2020, and then now it's 2023, and we just done with all. No, I'm not done with that.
Yeah.
Did it change you a lot, the pandemic?
Yeah, I don't look at my career the same. I never worked at love to the same degree that I worked on my career. I thought like to be a man, like, chill, shorty. Like, I'm working. Like, I'm making music. We're gonna do that shit later. That was another one.
Well, you've been eating all these.
Thank you.
You keep going.
about to be
Low key, I'm cussing so I can't eat.
Right.
So you
But-
can eat the bugs.
I wanted to. I'm doing this casually too.
It's
He like he eating
They're so
sunflower
good. They're not
seeds.
that bad.
They're disgusting, y'all.
They're not that bad.
They actually taste like ants. I've had ants before in Mexico.
It's world
Protein,
travel.
man.
It is protein.
It's not enough protein to count.
Can we talk love for a minute? Because obviously, Me, You, and God is the new project. You're one of those people. We're talking about being in touch and you finding love and working at love. Jidenna's love life. Where is it?
Love.
Where?
Yeah, I'm deep in love.
Oh, I love that.
I'm years in love now.
Because I thought I saw. Didn't I see an interview? And I won't get in your business.
I am polyamorous. Yeah. Just get out and say it. Just,
See,
yeah.
I have a problem, and obviously this is my lovely better half of. She
Lovely 1/6 quarter or 1/6 cup of the clan.
She calls me polyamorous, right? I don't know what
no,
that.
I call him monopoly.
I don't even know what none of that means.
Monopoly.
We talked about this.
We did.
Monopoly
Yeah.
is where he can
can.
do his thing, but with us, it's
Oh no!
See, no, I
very
disagree
different.
with that.
Jidenna.
I don't
wait,
define my to
Jidenna,
define me is to
Jidenna,
confine me.
wait, he
No.
Overseas.
Stop
You
it.
talking
No,
all
hold
this
on.
Stop
prison
it.
industrial
Hold on.
complex.
Stop it.
Get him.
Jidenna,
Stop it.
Jidenna,
Jidenna, you gonna make me cuss up in here.
Jidenna, let me tell you. He says if I look outside of him, then there's a problem with my character, and that I
Nick.
have needs that
that's such a
That
You
is-
use
I'm
therapy
sorry,
as a
that's such
weapon.
gaslighter.
My
That's
friend
so
don't
good.
do that. Nick, you don't do that, Nick.
I
My
don't
friend
do
don't
that.
do that. I know you don't.
He said,
My
if
friend don't
you
do that.
look outside of me,
No.
because what's better than me?
What I
That's
said
so good.
is good though, right?
That's
No,
good.
but what I actually said is, as the provider and the protector, I want to give you everything you desire.
I'm getting close, Les.
Yeah,
So-
that is-
now. You want to
It's
So-
beautiful and romantic, but like the reality is we not protecting women, bro. No, we
Now
not.
you're talking her
Actually,
Every
language.
day they
Thank
walk
you.
outside, they go in they boardroom. Every day they walk on the street. We not there. They protect themselves. Number
like
one.
Facts.
They don't.
Facts.
It's not like that. Like, yes, can we add some?
Yeah,
yes,
but again,
women-
because if you come from a strong foundation, you're still protected even when you're not in my presence.
Yes.
So because there's so many things that, like, whether it's our household or whatever we call it, we're sending the world from our children to our better half. So I'm saying, if the institution in which I've created that you're a part of, and if you seeking elsewhere, then one, I'm not doing my job. You're not fulfilled. So you feel free to go find it. But then that's when the conversation about your character is like, well, clearly I didn't meet the standards in which you were looking
Can't
for.
you use that logic vice
The
versa
same way.
too?
Yeah.
No, because
The same way.
I am the provider. If I was joining your kingdom, which men do join women's queendoms, then it would then take place in that order. But if this is my kingdom, therefore you're a representation of me and my belief system and what I'm operating in.
I'm not gonna speak on your household. Let me speak on what I've been through.
Yes,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Because
Because
it's
I
different.
actually, I feel it. So I had a time, like, fresh off of Classic Man. I got this I left East Flatbush.
Okay.
Took my little events. First big check in my life. Was like, let me give me a little rapper crib. Got a crib in Atlanta, 4 stories, 8 bedrooms. I was living the life. And I played the Lolo for it, right? Move everybody from New York down there.
Yes.
Then, in that time period, I then had 2 girlfriends. I moved to another house, 2 girlfriends in the same house, both aware. It was an openly polyamorous relationship. I had the same logic. I'm creating this institution. In fact, I was using like the Nigerian. I was like, I'm a chief. This is my village. Because my grandfather was polygamous.
Yeah.
Like, I have a long line of polygamy in my family.
Okay.
Right.
See, you was genetic.
Yeah. It's scientific. That's so funny. So I'm living that life, right? And I thought that, like, just because I provided, I was rarely ever home. So I'm thinking, like, what do you want? Like, I'm working hard for you.
Right.
That is not a contract that, one, they really signed up for. 2, I don't think that it's enough. That's not what nourishes a relationship. Like, me just providing
That's
things.
true.
I agree with that.
Providing.
It can't.
So
that can't be
was-
just
that
financial.
Was, that was
It's-
number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, the thing that I learned was, like, I cannot ask of them to do something that I'm not doing in practice. That's number 2. So if I'm over here, like, because I had women outside of that relationship.
Which is crazy. You got 2 girls and then you want more?
Exactly.
It's possible.
It happens. So this is why I'm telling you, Nick, because, like, I relate to this whole thing.
Absolutely.
Number 3, and this is the biggest thing, my concept of what a king was off. We conflate king with dictator or a tyrant.
Right.
But there were different types of kings in history.
Oh,
For example,
100%.
you always hear about Genghis Khan, and, like, you think, like, he took over all these empires. Wow. Genghis Khan, when he took control of your area, he allowed you to practice the religion that you had.
100%.
He didn't enforce his religion on you.
And that's why he was able to spread his seed as
That's
the
why-
way he did.
Yes. But also, kings were looked at, like, some kings look at themselves as fertile, so that, like, they're fertile, their land is fertile.
Yeah.
And they see somebody else doing business, having their own religion, doing their own thing on their land as a benefit to the entire kingdom.
I agree.
So take it out of the analogy. What that meant for me is I had to be okay with the women that I was seeing, having them see other people, be interested in other people. And eventually I did that. And it was difficult. I had to, first of all, take the pain, and the jealousy,
'Cause
and
your
the
emotions.
rage that came in me when I'm knowing they on a date.
So wait, would they bring the person to the house or?
Later, after we were kind of
Because then
breaking our way, yeah.
That's where 2 things.
It was a
Ego.
big house. It was the wings.
Yeah.
I didn't go there.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Ego was set in for me, but even before ego, protection was set in for me, because the same way I care for, like, I would be so concerned of what type of man would want to infiltrate my kingdom.
It's not an infiltration, and you can meet
And
him.
why? We have 3
let me be
beautiful
clear.
children. I don't
knew-
want that man around my kids.
I knew the men. This is later in the relationship, but I met the men.
But that's almost like Native American philosophy. What they do is like all of the men are the father of the child.
Well, that's historically that's what a lot
It
of
takes
people
a village.
Yeah. You're just saying random stuff that makes sense. Just each one teach one. The more you know. You're not adding to the conversation.
An apple a day.
One fish, two fish.
It's not just Native Americans. There's actually I read this book called Sex at Dawn that talks about the history of sex, basically.
Right.
And they said that women's orgasms are so vocal and so loud.
True.
Not just because it's hard to contain the feeling. It's also because women historically were doing it to signal to other men that they were fertile and ready. And it's because sperm competition would allow for her to receive the best sperm that would create the
So
best.
the louder the orgasm, the bigger the freak. Pretty much.
The more chances that another man could come in, have sex, because historically we were not monogamous.
Facts.
And so multiple, but this is important. It wasn't just men with multiple women.
It was women.
Was women with multiple men.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
Why you clapping?
Because
We
she
know
on
you in
ice,
these
right?
streets.
You
I
still
feel
on
ice.
ice.
No, she's not.
I feel heard.
She said, you feel heard?
Nah.
You feel supported?
I'm just telling my
I feel
experience.
hurt.
You don't let Jidenna mess up our household now.
Yo,
You let this interview take it where you want to.
Nick, I was on Breakfast Club and Charlamagne called his wife while I was there. Just checked on her. Just wanted to make sure. As soon as I start talking,
Everything all right now, right? You ain't listening, are you?
Just out of curiosity.
No, but again, I go back to I'll say this and I'll leave it alone. But as a protector, as you said, I know we probably don't necessarily agree on that idea, but I would be concerned about just extra energy. If we having an energy conversation, because if we on the same page, we on the same frequency, and then someone else enters, now our frequency is off because you have another influence based. Yes, you can speak, my love.
I need to speak on this.
Yes, please.
Because you're speaking. I understand where you're coming from.
Thank you.
I understand. But at the same time, the same way you get fed with all your different women and baby mamas, everybody feeds you differently. I'm not going to give you what your other baby mama gives you and vice versa. So everybody feeds you differently energetically. Now, if I chose to have children with you, you should trust my instinct and my discernment on
100%.
energy towards choosing another partner.
Another energy to come in.
100%. So to that point of what she said, I talked about is her character. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like to that sense, because first of all, I've been in multiple scenarios where I know women are doing other things. And what naturally happens to me as a man, I don't engage as much. A part of me cuts off, and even as a provider, because I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm a fearless romantic. The person that when we vibing on the same page, it's trips. It's
flowers.
It's experience. It's shroom experience. It's those ideas like, yo, we were vibing as one. But I can't do that. I can't become one with somebody whose energy is elsewhere. And it's fine because even there's I have other mothers of my children that I just don't engage with. We're great co-parents, and I respect the love that they found. But like when I'm at the crib, I'm not even on that. I'm not touching the small of her back. I'm not. They are, and it's unfortunate because those kids don't get to see that type of love between their parents. They get to see that their parents love them, but that intimacy isn't there, and it's we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? It's going to be a social experiment to one, because there's some of my children that do get to witness, me loving their mother and caressing them. And then there's some of my children that just be like, oh, no, like mommy and daddy don't really vibe like that. They love me, and mommy has other partners and daddy has other partners. So I don't know what the outcome would be because, we still, and it's in the first stages of their life. But ultimately, as a king or as one who looks to provide and protect for multiple people, I can't generalize. And just on a vibe, like some people I vibe with differently, just even as friends and individuals. I mean, I vibe with Mason differently than I vibe with Courtney, but that doesn't make one relationship more important than the other, even in a work setting. So
Yes, it does.
But if you're, but if,
Yeah,
if you're,
Mason didn't get a car.
but Nick,
Mason didn't ask for a car. I got Courtney a
me a
Jeep
car.
for her birthday.
He's a provider.
But Nick, you're constantly welcoming new energy into your already
Not
big world. Yes, you are.
constantly.
Yes, you are. And it's
Nick's
very
regretting this guest.
vibrant. But
It's
what it
vibrant.
is if he was actually a real practicing polyamorous man, like, and actually admitted it, and this is what I tell him all the truth.
I'm not
If you just
polyamorous.
admit your truth, your toxic circle, because you put the women against each other,
I don't.
you can actually form a really strong bond with the women.
That's
keeping
cultish.
everybody separate
That's
and
That's why y'all
cultish.
need to be
secretive.
monogamous.
Like the other day, I was here and
You
he had
ain't
his other
monogamous.
girlfriend
You need a
here
compound.
and didn't tell me, and I had my children with me, and I was like, why can't you just communicate with
Yeah, on the
me?
front end.
Period. He was like, that's your fault. I'm not changing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, but I'm okay with your life. I'm giving you the okay. But being polyamorous means to be living in your truth.
Jidenna, you giving therapy up in here today.
Nick, with, you know, with
He's
all
gonna
due
be
respect,
I think we should all. I think we all should just do mushrooms.
on, pa-
Yeah.
on paper, you polyamorous. I mean, like my grandfather had this. This is important. My grandfather had multiple different. I mean, y'all would call them huts, but like.
No, you talking about
right on the same compound. So he had 6 wives.
Wow.
And then he had his little chambers. They all knew about it. They were all okay, you know, as far as I know. I've
Right.
seen pictures of them. They didn't look that happy. Honestly, like, you know them. I don't know if it was just because of the old school picture, but they never smiled.
They was not.
But and the wives looked like, man, get me out of it.
Yeah, right.
So that was, you know, whatever. But what was important is that they all knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like. I do agree. Like here's the biggest thing. I don't think men understand that women live a life of pain. Women go through rites of passage every month. Women go through so much more pain than we do, and so we're afraid to get pain. Like, I don't want to feel the pain of jealousy.
Facts.
I could tell you, brother, when I felt that she is dating this other guy who I know he's everything I'm not. I know he's dark skinned. He achieved certain basketball dreams that I did not.
I know
Right.
that's
I'm a
right.
hooper. And like all these things, like, okay, damn, like, oh, he been in the gym a little bit longer. Like, you go through all these things, and all night the anxiety. I'm drinking. I'm like doing things that I haven't done in a while. Like, I'm playing 4 hours of video games, and I'm cool. And like that feeling to do that, I've done that to so many women. I've given that.
Yeah.
I've dished that out.
Right.
So I had to know what it felt like.
Facts.
Don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it,
Yes.
but I got through it. And that's what women do so many times. So after that, I started to evolve and be like, yo, what are my stipulations? What I hear from you, Nick, is like there's certain things that you're just not cool with because you don't like how it messes up the energy. You have to figure out what you are cool with and what you ain't. And
Yeah,
like
because
that conversation will, I think, like create probably a easier life. It does come with some, it's not even compromise. You stepping into the new you. And to
Facts.
me, it's not about, I don't even talk the king talk, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm from a line of chiefs. Chief is a different thing. I
Then
don't
the
want to be a king. I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want to be none of that. I want my time. Chief is more local.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like we here with it. We
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. I'm
Facts.
man of the people kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that model showed me that you can make that little kingdom or chiefdom or whatever in a different way where people feel okay to be themselves. I just don't want to lock women down any more than the world already has. So I want to be able to be as strong of a man to be able to take the pain that comes with some of the things I've done. So but I'm not saying anything for y'all household. I'm just saying for me, my journey, that's how I ended up here. That's how I ended up with me, you, and God. And with a woman who had 2 boyfriends, she was basically with 2 men when I met her. She was in love with 2 men, and I was like, cool, sign me up.
Really?
Yeah.
She's a powerful woman. Look
She's
at
a
her.
powerful woman, and I just I loved her swag. I loved her character, as you're saying. And I knew that over time, I literally asked her this question. I said, look, I'm not trying to be, you already got a situation. Just tell me where I am in the constellation. What star am I? What am I doing? Because
Bars.
I was with
You already got a situation. Just tell me where I am in this
Just tell me where I
constellation.
am.
Bars.
It's low key sophisticated pimp shit.
One more cricket for you.
Yeah,
Well, we gonna kick Jidenna out. It's time to get rid of this guest pastor. Before he done this low key pimping that he doing. Wait, the doors of the church are now open. I told y'all this is how this morning was going. Look at like Mason is spitting over there.
Y'all talking about
Mason is a different kind of glow this morning. She is everything Jidenna
trying
has
to see if you
put out there. She is soaked up like with a piece of cornbread.
Into your
No, we definitely have women that be trying to date us. And
that's the thing.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's great.
Sorry.
Well, we
We're
love.
not there right now, but it's still cool. It's still fun. And
There it
flattering.
is.
I love that.
Well, we love Jidenna. I didn't make it. It was so close.
Oh, boo.
We love that Jidenna is in the building and giving us his Me, You, and God philosophies. When is it coming out?
Oh, it came out. It just came out. Y'all can stream it now. Me,
Yeah.
You, and God on all platforms.
So that means we're going to get into some music, some Jidenna music. What song are we going to hear first?
What song are we going to hear first?
Javen, what you got queued up? What should we find? Oh, we also got to do life lessons. Of course we got to do life lessons with
There's a song about polyamory. Do Sweet Bitters.
sweet bitters, as in the bitters are like Jamaican bitters?
Nah.
Because that stuff will heal you.
It is.
We'll go, we do this. It's not, I guess we can call it a game, but it's really the ideas of, we put 30 seconds on the clock and whatever comes to your heart, whatever is on your spirit, you fill in the blank. There's no right or wrong way to answer these questions, Jidenna. But you've already enlightened us all with your sermon this morning.
I'm enlightened.
Hey, relax.
Oh, no.
Relax.
I am enlightened.
no.
Relax.
Baby.
Easy.
We'll start off here. I'm my best when I'm
Hi.
all right. Elevated, as we say. I learned to never
I learned to never dish out what I cannot eat myself.
I always regret not.
I always regret not taking less edibles one specific night because I lost a whole relationship with an artist.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't show up to something. I was crawled up on the floor. You know
Uh,
how like a lot of edibles, for some reason, a lot of edibles.
I hate
sometimes-
edibles. I don't do
Yeah,
them.
I had all sorts of thoughts. I'll never forget. I'm not gonna name the artist, but he never forgot.
oh,
He has like a photographic memory and like whatever that is. Like he remembers what I was wearing.
wow.
You didn't show up.
Oh,
It
wow.
ruined my relationship.
Oh, wow. I wish my father would have taught me or told me.
I wish my father would have taught me anything related to sex or love. He didn't teach me anything. I love you though, bro.
My favorite quote or lyric is,
Jeez. My favorite quote or lyric. Don't Let Me Down by the Beatles. Simple. But the way they sang it is how people feel when they date. Like, don't let me down.
For real.
Please.
That's real.
Please. I'm lonely.
all right.
I need a companion. Life is suffering. Don't let me down.
Interesting. My worst quality is,
My worst quality is I'm manipulative.
there
look
you go.
at you.
Interesting.
Finally, some honesty.
It's also my best quality.
I was going to say your best quality.
Yeah. It's the reason why I'm good at what I do.
Love that. I'm my most relaxed after I
I'm most relaxed after I make love.
I would spend my last dollar on
I spend my last dollar on time.
when no one is watching. I often
Fart.
when I'm excited, I grab my
You know what I grab when I'm excited.
Hey, grab it.
Grab my
You
tool.
relax, Courtney. She's like, go ahead, grab it right now. Whip it out. Let me see what you're going to do with it. Y'all are in rare form this morning. Blank helps me stay strong.
Ain't help me stay strong. Coffee.
I always keep a blank on me.
Oh man. Always. Damn, so many things running through my mind. They all lies though. I always keep a raw paper on me.
All right. And last but not least, the world needs more
Intimacy.
facts.
That's real.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Me, you, and God.
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, this has been
woke
fun.
Me up for real.
It's Jidenna, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, we got the
Sweet bitters.
sweet bitters right here on the Daily Cannon. Let's go.